All right, so let's look at fractional exponents for a second. What I want you to try here, if you got your calculator at home, is take a look at this number right here and take a look at this number right here. I want you to bring both of those into your calculator. So here's my calculator, clear, and I'm going to put square root of 81. Now, you know what the square root of 81 is. You know that that's 9. You're pretty smart. So let's try this. What happens if I do 81 to the exponent of 1/2? 1 divided by 2. I'm really curious as to what that's going to give us. Well, if you hit the button, you'll be surprised. That also gives you 9. So these are two different ways of expressing the square root. You can write it as a radical sign here, saying the square root of 81 is 9, or you can put this to a power of 1/2 and still get the same number. So what does that tell you? That tells you straight out that either the square root or a power of 1/2 means the same thing. So I've got a definition here from your textbook, and it could look a little kind of strange at first, but I just want to show you something that's really neat about this. Take a look right here. This says x to the 1 over n is the same as this, which is n root of x. So in other words, these two guys mean the same thing. Isn't that cool? So let's go and look at some questions. Let's look at this mess right here and how to figure it out. Well, if you remember, this here just means, right, that n goes right here to the 16, right? So this is like saying the square root of 16, which we all know is 4. But what happens if that exponent now is a third? Well, that third goes right here, the square root of 27 then, or I should say the cubed root of 27, which is 3 times 3 times 3, we know is 3. Look at this. Again, that means square root. The square root of 9 over 4, which can actually be written as the square root of 9 over the square root of 4, which is really simple to figure out. That's 3 over 2. What I do want to show you in the next podcast is something called flower power, and you're just going to be totally amazed as what that can do. But wait for the next podcast.